Hi, this is Hank Kobler with ExtraPointFootball.com. This week's Try This was going to be about the Green Bay Packers, but stop committing so many false starts. It was too short for the 4-minute minimum I'm required to produce every week. So instead we're looking at the Tennessee Titans. I'm not doing any fancy formations or innovation or anything like that. I'm just taking a look at Mike Heimerdinger's old playbook from last year that he used with the Titans to lead Vince Young and Chris Johnson's explosiveness out of the backfield to create mismatches and lead the team to an 8-2 record after the quarterback switch. This year they've gotten off to a slow start in the running game. They had a good game against the Raiders, but Johnson didn't really get going until the fourth quarter. Against the Steelers, he was completely shut down. And against the Giants, he had 125 yards on 32 carries. However, 42 of those yards came on one play. Take that away, you've got 83 yards and 31 carries. Measly 2.67 yards per carry, an absolutely horrendous average. So in order to fix that, we are going to look at plays from the Titans Monday night game against the Texans last year.
Young calling signals, looking at a four-man Houston front. Young fakes the give, runs it to the right side. Here's the pitch, and it's I formation. Johnson back in there. Young fakes the handoff, wants to run it across the 10, across. Texans loading up at the line. Young, quick drop, and he runs forward across the 25.
In this game, we saw the use of a lot of the option-style plays, like a college-based option offense, predicated on fullback Bernard Hall faking a run between left guard and left tackle. Here, Algie Crumpler, tight end, is motioned over to the right side of the line. You have the entire line fake like they are blocking for Hall, who is running to the left. Meanwhile, Johnson and Young roll out to the right on the option play. The linebackers all bit on the fake, run over to the left side, and then Young is able to read it. He pitches right to Johnson. Johnson makes a big gain. Next time they run it, they do the exact same thing. Young just sees safety Bernard Pollard, the key man that he has to read, bite over towards Johnson, head over that way so he sees the angle and runs and picks up 10 yards, gets stopped at the 1-yard line. Now, next time they use this formation, instead of a run blocking situation, they actually drop back to pass almost immediately. No fake run. This is supposed to take the defense by surprise. Now, strong side linebacker Brian Cushing blitzes. He is picked up by Bernard Hall. The rest of the line holds it pretty well. The other two linebackers run to the right to cover the option play along with Bernard Pollard, whereas the defensive line crashes left. Young immediately sees this split in the defense, runs and makes a big gain before finally getting tackled and fumbling the ball. Now the Texans obviously lucked out when he fumbled, but that doesn't change the fact that such a big hole was still there.
Washington in motion to the right. They fake the handoff at the end around. Young rolling right, throws to the end zone. Got a man, Kenny Britt, touchdown Titans.
Another play that the Titans ran against the Texans in this game was they faked a reverse to the receiver who went in motion before the play. Then Young rolled to the right a little, faked the handoff on the reverse and rolled out on a naked bootleg, while the entire line faked like they were blocking for the reverse. Now meanwhile, Chris Johnson ran into the flats. There was decent coverage on him, so Young didn't really look his way. Instead, he looked at Kenny Britt, who came all the way across the formation, but because of the guarding the reverse and the rollout and looking at Johnson in the flats because he's too dangerous to let him get the ball in his hands open space, Britt was able to come all the way across here uncovered, led to an easy touchdown for the Titans. Now incorporating that into this formation with the option, you'd have to change a few things. Now you'd have to put the tight end on the line of scrimmage and the receiver behind it, because only one player on each side of the ball, aside from the offensive lineman, can be on the line of scrimmage. But if the receiver goes into the motion from on the line of scrimmage, he'll be off of it. That changes the rules. They get a flag for illegal formation. Technical stuff, but important to know for the sake of this play. So the receiver would go into motion, and then the ball would be snapped, and then they have the option of either handing off to Hall on the dive, or they could always run the option, roll out to the right. Young can either keep it himself or pitch it, or now he has this option of handing it to his receiver on the reverse. That adds yet another wrinkle to this play. And then of course you've got Britt coming all the way across the formation. Now when you've got 4 different running options here, the dive by Hall, the rollout by Young, the pitch to Johnson, and the reverse, you just don't have enough people to stop all that athleticism coming out of the backfield and cover your receiver. So Young's going to have to make a couple reads on this play. First of all, he's going to look at where the linebackers line up. Now, the weak outside linebacker lines up right over this gap. He's going to know not to hand it to Hall. On the other hand, if he lines up too far to the strong side, he knows Hall can get up there for a good couple yard gain, keep the defense honest. So let's say the linebacker stays here. He knows not to run it to Hall. He still fakes it, of course. Now, he can roll right. Now, depending when the receiver went into motion, if the corner just stayed in his spot, he knows it's a zone defense, that there's going to be a lot of people here. He's better off handing it to his receiver on the reverse. Now, if the corner goes across the formation with the receiver, he just fakes the reverse, corner chases the receiver down, leaves a little more space here. Then Young can look at whether the safety and the strong side linebacker are coming at him, Johnson, or if they both rush him and come down, there's a good chance Britt will be slightly underneath the free safety, but past his cornerback and wide open. So there's these 5 options that all of a sudden made the offense so much harder to stop, create athletic mismatches, and use a lot of the concepts that Heimerdinger used last year to great success with the Titans. That's all for this week. Let's see the Titans implement this. Their offense could be a lot more productive. And see you next week on Try This.